engagement. Also helps, uh, so helps Instagram let Instagram know what you want to see. A lot of people say, well, we're not seeing what we want to see. Well, you got to let Instagram know by either liking or adding a comment. So that's the way that you let Instagram know that. This is the first time I started on time in a while. So I'm proud of that. So I'm gonna try to be more on time this year. I said I would. Uh, Give me 1 second here. There we go. So hopefully we're able to get into the content. So before we start, I just want to talk about, it's been a crazy time. We got a lot of opportunities coming up in 2026. And he says you support Israel. See, I want to touch on that, man, because it's very weird that some of you guys. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I am because I'm going to reset what I am. I've been extraordinarily right for the last 5 years. A lot of you have made a ridiculous amount of money. Some people in my group, some people outside the group. It doesn't. You both you have made a lot of money on my insights, and that's undeniable. You can say whatever you want about me. You can't say I did not do that. Now, you got to understand, I'm not in your political fights. I'm not in your social, whatever, justice and all this stuff. I'm separate from that world. I try to stay objective because that's how I call out the plays. You guys are all emotionally involved in everything. That's why you can't see plays like this or that, because your emotions are too far in. I do as best I can to separate myself. That's my job. My job is to do that. Now, you want to be a social fighter and fight for freedom or whatever you want to do. That's you, and I applaud you for it and take my hat off to you, and I'll salute you. But I'm not that, right? So you cannot try to pull me into those arguments because I won't get in them. That's just bottom line. I got my own beliefs and everything, but I'm not getting pulled into your political stuff and your emotions and your anger and whatever it is you got going on. That's not who I am. I'm here to deliver information about finance and tech and the eventual merge of the two. That's all I'm here for. I'm not going to pro-Israel or against Israel, whatever it is. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into your Palantir, pro-Palantir. I'm not getting into that either. A lot of you guys try to pull me into those Palantir things. It's not, and I'm talking about Palantir. I will continue to invest in Palantir. Now, Palantir is being used by ICE to get immigrants. So is Microsoft. So is Samsung tablets. So is Ford and Chevy trucks and cars. So is Golden Eagle pistols. So is the manufacturer of the ICE uniforms. So is the payroll processor that processes the payroll. So is the HR software they use to you see what I'm saying? Is that it's a lot. You can't just pick out one software and say that's bad because ICE uses a whole bunch of them. What tablets are they using? You ever thought about that? Is it Samsung? Is it a iPad? What if so you're going to ban those companies too? You see what I'm saying is that the media has you all twisted up in your emotion. That's the reason why you can't see the trends that are coming. Because for you to be the media has a ability to have you spinning in circles your entire life. We talk about this in the book. Make sure you grab the book, Strategic Millionaire. So get pre-order now. It's on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble. That you click the link in the bio. We talk about how corporations will have you twisted and turning your entire life emotionally, like some clothes in a washing machine. That at the end of your life, you've got nowhere, but the corporations have made more profit. That's what they want you. They want you twisted and turning, don't know which way to go, angry, mad, sad, happy. So end of life, and most people realize this when they're late 65, 70, they realize, man, maybe I should have, but it's too late. That's when they want you to realize it, when you're old, when it's too late, when you've been out of the game for 40 years, thinking you're doing the right thing, social justice, this and that. I'm not going to buy that laundry detergent. They want you like that. They don't care. They invest, do whatever. Look, you see what they're doing in the Gaza Strip? They don't care. I'm not saying right or wrong, but I'm saying you have to start fighting the battles you can fight. That's what I should say. Now you do whatever you choose to do. Mama, it's not going to change nothing really. Now you got two choices. I'm going to say it before I go on. And I say this at my live event. I say it to the CNC. You got two choices in life. You can become a freedom fighter, give up your life, give up your job, and full-time fight for what you believe is right. And I swear to you, if I see you, I will shake your hand, regardless of what side you're on. Anybody that does that, you have to shake their hand and say, man, at least you were willing to go as far as you want for what you believe in. Or you got to profit on the mega trends. There is no in between, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm going to buy it. No, you pick one side or the other. You're going to profit off what you see forming, because you know it's forming, you know it's coming, or you fight against what you see forming that you think is wrong. There is no middle ground. One or the other. Now pick a side. In both sides, I will take my hat and salute you. What I can't do is people in the middle. They want to be this, but they don't want to. They want to go to work, but they don't want to. They want to invest in Walmart through their 401k, but they also want to say it's evil. Nah, man. You go one way or the other. You profit and say, look, I'm out of it, or you be a freedom fighter and give your life up for your beliefs. There is no in between. There's only one way or the other. That's it. In between is where they want you. You're quite not right in, a little bit out. Your foot's in, 1 foot in. What they say, get your right foot in, take your right foot out, put your right foot in, and you shake it all about. They want you shaking your whole life. Shake it up until you finally, your 40 years are out. That's the average length of people's employment. And it's over. And you've been on the sideline for 40 years. So let's move on. So welcome to Strategy Sunday, where every week we get you ready for what's coming for the next 7 days. We don't want you reacting, we want you position. I'm your host, Armando Pantoja. And today's episode is filled with moves that could define your quarter, your week, or maybe even your entire life. Bitcoin is sitting around 87,000, but don't panic. The market's just readjusting. And it's because institutions have been pulling out money, So it's creating a lot of selling pressure, but there's a hidden AI bottleneck. We talked about last week. We're going to continue to talk about it this week. Google could be a monster stock. We're going to tell you where the AI upside really is. Any issues with video? Nah, my internet's been down. I kind of slow. I think it's because something to do with the nationwide internet. I'm a little sick too, so I'm gonna be a little nasally today. So like I said, it's all happening. That's all happening fast, but this is where the biggest winners of 26 and beyond will be made, right? So if you're up north in Tennessee, especially, make sure you take care of yourself, because I know how it is. I used to live in Tennessee in that area. I know that area is not prepared for snow at all. So a lot, snow up north is nothing. But if you go to Tennessee, 3-4 inches could shut the city down. Or Tennessee, Georgia, Kentucky, those places aren't really prepared for snow of this caliber or ice of this caliber. So make sure you bunker down. Make sure you it's too late to go out for like supplies, but make sure you help your neighbor, make sure you guys stick together. And it'll be over here soon. Just make sure you get through it safely. So back to what I was saying. The video's out. So Bitcoin did a drop because Trump said that he will do 100% tariffs on Canada, because he said if they do a deal with China, he's going to put it. So that caused the market to kind of go into turmoil. Bitcoin fell to 86,000 and it's kind of recovering right now. People keep looking for something that's, but really the institutions are starting to sell Bitcoin. They're also shorting Bitcoin. But these are temporary things. I think that over this year, we're going to see Bitcoin recover, especially XRP as well, and Ethereum and the whole crypto ecosystem. Somebody asked me last week, they said on Wednesday, they said that, are you distancing yourself from Bitcoin or crypto? I said, no, it's nothing to talk about. Like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about something that's nothing to talk about. There is nothing but boring stuff going on with crypto. It's in a down cycle. There is nothing to talk about. Second is that you have to understand my thesis in investing, back to pulling away from emotion. I'm not a sports gambler where I have a team and that team is everything. I put it on my chest and stuff. Now I believe in XRP. I believe in cryptocurrency, but If I see a better opportunity, like we see with TMC, my money goes in that, right? I got some crypto that I'm never going to sell, but my new money, for example, I got money I invest every month. So when that new money comes time to invest it, if I think TMC or a quantum computing stock or AI stock would do better, the money's going to flow into there, right? Because I already have big. So that's what I talk about, especially on Strategy Sunday and also in the CNC, is what I personally am invested in right now and what I personally am looking at. Right. And sometimes another thing is that sometimes those things don't change. For example, remember what we're looking at when we do these. Every investor should look for is what is the best place for my dollar right now. Every time you get a certain amount of money available for investor, what is the best place for it? Right? It could be the same place over 3-4 months. It could be 2 or 3 stocks never change. You have to keep this in mind. It's not always a new target. And that's what a lot of new investors that come into the CNC and also just people I've seen over the years, they want that's another emotion. You want that excitement of a new coin or a new stock and put your money into it, right? And you want another one and another one and another one. Sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes there's nothing. Sometimes the stock that was called out 3 months ago is still the best stock to go into. Don't let your emotions pull you into an emotional frenzy where you're looking for dopamine spikes. Now, especially new beginner traders will fall into that trap to where they're not looking for investing no more. They're looking for dopamine. You got high off of that one stock that went way up. Now that stock is kind of balanced out or either kind of leveled out. Now you're looking for the next high. You're not looking for the next best investment. You're looking for the next dopamine high, the dopamine spike. That's what you're looking for. And everybody goes through it. I've been through it. That's how I can tell you what's happening. You cannot let that lust for dopamine take you down a dark path. Sometimes there is no opportunity. Some of the opportunity is the same. You have to be very robotic in this. That's the only way you have long-term success. Robotic, emotionless, like a robot, a computer, and whatever. You cannot let emotions get in there. Once they creep in, it perverts the whole thing. Second thing we want to talk about. Now, overall, Bitcoin's down because institutions have been selling, but it's not over. It's going to be some big moves this year, I believe. Selling is going to start flipping. The selling is going to flip back into buying. We're going to get some clear rules with the Clarity Act. Plus, there's infrastructure things, especially like big banks opening crypto ETF trading desk. It's going to make things easier over this year, and we're going to see crypto start to come back. We're gonna have a master's class, but I got to get my book tour over first. But most people don't need motivation; they need a system. The CNC Academy is my group. That's the system you need: daily market clarity, step-by-step plays for entrepreneurs and investors who want to move faster when in this volatility. I give a 30-day guarantee. So you can, for 30 days, if you don't like it, you can always get your money back. Now, if the CNC has helped you make money or close a deal, drop a money bag in the comments. Also, we're doing a free book tour. This is going to be the last free tour I ever do. New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Dallas, Chicago, Houston. It starts on February 8th all the way through the 15th. Free seats are limited. If you're in one of those cities, DM me your city name and I'll send you the link so you can register. Seats are very limited. We opened up new seats in New York and LA today. So if you're in New York, LA, and you want to join, DM me. It's also a link in the bio. Link in the bio, and also you can DM me your city name, and I'll send you the link after this is over. Remember, the free seats in LA. We're more than likely going to have a big screen. I know it's the All-Star game. So if you're not going to the All-Star, maybe you can watch the All-Star game with me because we're getting a big screen and we're going to all watch the All-Star game. Also, the first 100 people get a seafood bucket for free. We got a sponsor that's coming on to help us out with that. And we have a book signing. So if you want to come to that, it's going to be kind of fun. Why you don't do nothing in Tennessee? Real Jones said, because Tennessee don't care about this stuff. I've tried. My own college don't care. So it's just Tennessee is a weird place. Like every city has a soul, and sometimes some cities don't have the right soul for what I do. And that's just the way it is, man. Like Nashville, Clarksville ain't got the soul for finance or tech investing. But they have a soul, maybe music, maybe something else. But every city has its own unique mix of characteristics and also a soul. So that's why I never do Tennessee, because I tried before and it didn't work. I did an event in Tennessee, only 6 people signed up. And in New York, you can get, for the same type of event, you can get 600, 700. So I mean, it starts to get cost effective too. To what? Uh, I went to Allspeed State University, not TSU, in Clarksville. I remember those seats in LA are only the first. You have to be the first 100 people to get in LA to get the bucket, the seafood bucket. But first 100 people. But everybody else can come watch the game. We're gonna have, I think we're gonna have drinks or something like that. So I'll let you know. It's gonna be the All-Star game on a big screen. Hopefully, if we can get the screen, we'll let you guys know more about that. So so one thing I want to jump into what the IPOs that are coming out next year, because that's really if you noted, I think it seems like SpaceX is going to start revving up the IPO, and it's going to happen a lot faster. If 2026 turned out to be a mega IPO year, SpaceX will be the leader. You also got OpenAI and Anthropic, and they're also high volatility AI bets. The only thing that matters, a lot of you guys say, is am I going to make money on that? Now, reports say that SpaceX has picked up Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Morgan Stanley for senior roles as it ramps up its IPO. For those of you who don't know what an IPO is, ¿cuándo lo puedes hacer en español? Yo creo que se puede traducir en on IG. Si hay abajo, yo tengo un video allá y abajo hay un botón que tú lo apretas. I'm forgetting my Spanish. You can press it and dice cuál idioma tú quieres y tú puedes coger español. So back to what I was saying is that like SpaceX is going to be the leader. And I want to tell you something else is going to happen, right? I'm actually the thing about this is that we're planning this play in the CNC right now. And we're going to talk about it deeper tomorrow. I'm going to give you guys a high level part of this play. Now, if you're in the CNC, I've made a lot of money for a lot of people. Now we do it because we invest in mega trends, and then we take those mega trends, break them down into how we're going to go into them. Now, the biggest thing that's going to happen this year, and now there's another concept I talk about in this book and also in the new book, Future of Wealth. It's a concept called edge signals. Edge signals, presionar el botón abajo, secciona el idioma. Yeah, that's it. So back to what I was saying is that SpaceX is an IPO. It's going to be the biggest IPO in history. Now, how do you position for that? So you have to think about previous IPOs, what it's done to and you got to think about this is back. There's a concept I talk about in this book and also in Future of Wealth. It's called edge signals. And it's a concept, it's my own concept. And what this means is that in investing, remember, I'm a trend investor, mega trend investor, macro investor. I'm not in the charts. So somebody asked me at a meeting, they were like, I was at an event in New York, Martin Luther King's Day, and somebody said, what indicators you use? I don't use indicators. I got people that help me out with that. Now I know, how to do technical analysis, but I don't use that to make money. See, I'm a mega trend investor. What I see is I see something forming in society. It's only tech too, because tech will be everything one day. And then I break it down into the pick and shovel plays, the platform plays, direct plays. Then I come up with a trading thesis on a group of stocks that will do well under this trend. Right. And then from there we pick, in the CNC, we pick buy points, sell points through technical analysis. And that's how we get into them. So back to what I was saying is there's a concept called edge signals. And what that is that when you're living your life, you hear these weird stuff happening. Like, oh, that's weird. Why are we going around the moon in 2 weeks? Did you know we're doing that? The United States is sending a rocket around the moon to like survey it because we're going to land on the moon, supposedly. So why are we doing that's kind of weird. Why would we all of a sudden we're doing that? And all of a sudden you hear about Jeff Bezos, rockets are coming backwards from space and landing on platforms. Oh, that's kind of weird. What's going on in space? Then you hear another thing. We're going to put data centers in orbit. Oh, that's kind of weird. Data centers. You start hearing all these weird things that all tie back to something. That's what's called an edge signal. These are signals that by themselves don't mean much. But when you hear it, and they're all tied to one thing, that's a mega trend forming. That's what forms, they converge into a mega trend. That mega trend is where the money's at. Now, if you can predict it based on those edge signals, there's a lot of money to be made. And that's what's happening right now. You hear these weird stuff about space, and you're like, what, space? Who talks about space? That's because edge signals happen when the technology reaches a point to where it's at what's called an inflection point. It's about to take over, a tipping point almost, to where it's going to explode into society. That's where we're at right now with space. It seems weird until it's not weird anymore. Like think about this. Who would have thought an AI chatbot would have taken over the world as much as chat? If we went back 7, 8 years, you would have thought it was weird. Who wants to chat with a bot? You never would have known. If we would have talked about these edge signals back in 2021, 22, when I was talking about it, nobody else was, but I was. That's why my people got it so early. It's because of the edge signals. Those weird things that keep happening, they're forming into a signal, and that signal is leading to a megatrend. That's what's happening with space. And that's SpaceX is going to be the tip of the spear of the tipping point. That's when everything's going to explode out. That's when all the space stocks are going to start rising up until that IPO and then also past the IPO. It's a great opportunity. We're going to talk about it more in the CNC. But that's going to be remember, SpaceX, the future is SpaceX. It's going to become the main infrastructure for connectivity, defense, space commerce, like a utility system, but in space. And also, it's a lot bigger than people think it is. Tokenization is not a megatrend. It could be. You're right, Nicholas. It depends. It could be. But yeah, it could be. It could be. I'm thinking differently. Yeah, it could be. Then you got OpenAI. And you got Anthropic. Those are 3 that I'm really, really watching right now. Now, SpaceX does have the potential to be the biggest IPO in history. OpenAI and Anthropic are not as secure or not as certain, I think, as OpenAI. I'm sorry, SpaceX. So I think the smart move, and we're going to talk about it more. Archer was a good call. Yeah, it was. I appreciate. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like these calls, Archer. You know, Redwire. I called it out. If you came to my event in LA, about 6, 7 months ago, I talked about a Redwire. And I talked about the space race coming. Now, who heard that? I said it before. I said it months before. Now, these other so-called influencers, they jump on too late. You may make a little money because you get on a trend at the tail end. It's going to keep going like a car, momentum. But you got to get in these things early to make 10 times your money, like we've made significantly over a lot of stocks over the years. You got to be able to see the edge signals forming. Then you have to get in before the signal forms into a megatrend. You have to be early. And a lot of people, they wait. A lot of these, then once this already hits, they start talking about it too late. And then people, but you have to be before the masses to make real money. We talked about space almost a year ago. I started talking about it was coming in 26. I'm always ahead. I'm a year out. Everybody else is right, present. This dude said, this guy has futuristic ideas. Be cautious when you listen to his investing advice. I mean, that's kind of stupid. I mean, shouldn't you listen to somebody who has futuristic ideas? I mean, not only that has been correct for the last 6 years, almost consistently. I'm sorry. If it was me on the other side of this camera, I would take my own insights. Now, it's not just that I'm futuristic, because I am very few. This is how it starts out with me. I start talking about, some people think I'm crazy. Then all of a sudden, the world starts talking about it. Then all of a sudden, the plays that I called out start to work. This has been going on for 6 years. It's not like I just started this. It's been 6 years. And that's because my entire life has been built for futurism. Ever since I was a kid. That's the reason why. He said, the future is where the money's at, not the present. Yeah, that's what another thing. Aderman or whatever, I can't read it. Why? I don't understand why people follow me that don't like me. That's real weird, right? Like if I didn't like someone, I just unfollow. Like it's some dudes that like every time I put up something, they just keep following me, put stuff. Like, why don't you just unfollow me? I don't get that. So on Strategy Sunday, I've given out picks that have turned into life-changing money. Some people will literally have paid made millions from the plays that I have shared for free. And still, a lot of people get confused. They don't know where to buy, when to take profits. All that's where the CNC Academy, my private group, comes in. We don't just give tickers; we give full insight. 30-day guarantee. DM me the word CNC if you're interested in joining. If you're in the CNC, been making money, I would love to see how much you've made, and also drop money back if you've made money at all. And remember, DM me the word CNC or click the link in the bio or go to joincnc.com to join us. Also, we're doing a free book tour, last free event we're ever going to do in a long time. New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Dallas, Chicago, Houston. The seats are limited. We just opened up New York and LA again, so there's seats available now in New York and LA. Links in bio, or you can DM me your city, and I'll send you a link. I really don't see how nobody could hate me because I missed a couple or a few over the years, but man, I've been extraordinary. I've been so right. I've surprised myself. So I don't see how nobody can hate against me. And I've done most of it for free. Like nobody comes on and gives as much information as I do for free. They may give you something small. People won't do this. Like, and I'm not a gatekeeper, but I am going to make money. I'm an entrepreneur. That's what the CNC is for. And I believe that, that's a higher level of access. And I am going to make money. I'm going to try to make money. But I do also I give more than I think anybody in this industry, I should say. So there's another stock that I really like, and this is a base stock, right? So it's not like it's going to go up a lot, but it could go up way more than the average. But Google is a strong stock because it already makes ridiculous amount of money, and now it has an AI upside on top. So the downside is kind of because Google has a good bottom, so the downside is kind of constrained, but the upside. With its AI chips and everything that's working on could push Google a lot higher this year. And also remember, Google also is attached to quantum computing. Now they're starting to work on it and also have the Willow chip as well. So people use Google every day, right? So companies pay to show up on Google. You also got the Google Cloud. And you also have AI helps Google sell ads better. So they're going to make money there. You also got Gemini. And you also have what's called Waymo, which is a lottery ticket kind of play inside that stock. When self-driving taxis take off, and if it scales, it's going to add a whole new rev stream to Google. So I'm going to add Google. I don't hold any Google stocks now, but I'm going to put it on the CNC. And also in the CNC, you got a watch list of every stock I got and also all the targets that you can check. So in the CNC, I am going to add Google as a forever stock. I don't have any Google right now. So I'm going to add that. I may have a few, but I haven't really let me check. I think I got a little bit, but I'm going to start. But I should say if I'm going to expand my Google holdings. So it's a proven money printer, a few big, and it also has a few growth, it's GOOG. It also has a few big growth bets for tomorrow. What happened to the Crypto Trends podcast? Again, there's nothing to talk about. Me and Robert are working on another podcast we're going to do after the book tour. So we're going to do more on because what happened with crypto is nothing to talk about. Like there's not we're going to do a more financial news. We're going to talk about things that come up in the news financially, and we're going to talk about those like news articles, stuff like that. That's how we're gonna do it. I'm actually going to meet with him tomorrow to talk about it. So Robert will be at the event in New York. So he'll be there. So like I said, it was nothing to talk. It's hard to source content for something that's moving sideways. Is there a discount code for the CNC for what? Nah, not for the CNC. Anybody that was in the CNC a long time ago, we said this month we would honor any old. We're going to honor any old. If you got in and you got out because of a bad analyst or something like that, because we had a bad one, you could just tell us. You can DM me and we'll honor any old what you got out, whatever price you got out at. We'll honor that price now. But other than that, there is no discounts. Because some people got out because they didn't like Discord or because they didn't like. We've changed over to a new app, so if you come back, try us again. We'll honor any price that we had before. You just got to tell us. Yeah, Robert's my he's one of my best friends. So I don't have any problems with Robert. Robert's a very busy man. I'm a very busy man, but I see Robert at least once a week. Uh, we just sit and have lunch or whatever, or talk. He's he's also what? He's older. Obviously he's older than me, but I see him as and people don't. This is a hard thing that a lot of people can understand, is that I see Robert as a mentor. I mean, he's 20 years older than me. Not that much, but he's older. He's ran a much bigger company than I've ever ran. So yeah, I see Robert as a mentor, and Robert helps me out on some stuff that, and I help him out too, especially with tech and everything. But he helps me out with business decisions, stuff like that. Stuff that I'm. So he's a good. You want people like that in your circle, right? Is that, and you also want to get to the point. No matter how good you get, no matter how much money you got, there's always people out there that understand different aspects better than you do, and they've been through more. So you have to kind of lean on them. That's the only way you're going to get to the next level. You can't. I know everything. I had a dude that worked for me. He worked for me 2 years, and all of a sudden he thought he knew everything. I mean, like, you can't live your life. You never know everything. You never know. You always have to be open to new information. You always have to be willing to accept the idea that people know more than you. Now, you may be an expert at this or that, but wait, you can't be an expert at everything. Somebody knows more. And you can't run around thinking that you know everything. But like I said, grab the book on Amazon. It's on also on Barnes Noble. The link is in the bio, or you can just you can DM me and ask me about the link. We don't have anybody by that name in the CNC anymore. Yeah, I had to let some analysts go. They're not coachable, man. So you got to have a coachable player. Yeah, we're gonna start doing one-on-ones in the CNC, but we have smaller groups because we're over next month. We're starting a book club. Like, there's subgroups in the CNC. Somebody said CNC is a huge community. It's 2,500 people in there, so I understand that. But you have to remember, we have subgroups. You have to be willing to. There's a book club in there to start next week. I mean, next month. You got several. You when you go in, you actually say, what groups do you want to be part of? I want to be crypto, stocks, and this. I want to be this, and then you get put into the groups based on that. So if you go down to the subgroups, they're very small, 6, 7, 8 people. You just have to be willing to put the effort in. Come to live events. There's not, that's how you get. You got to remember the group is, you got 2,500 people, and this is what people don't realize. I can't discount the book because it's not my book. It's Wiley's. If it was the first book, was mine. It was self-published. This is published by a third party, Wiley, the third biggest publisher in the world. So it's their book. So I just get a good royalty from it. So I can't give you a discount. But you don't get the book for free either. But we got the book club. We got chapters starting in the second quarter of this year where there'll be live chapters in real life. You got it's a lot of stuff going on. You got it's live trading on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I go live on there on Mondays. So there's something every day, something for everybody. So you just have to be able to go in and look. So I said, you seem to have your own moat in this space. It makes you inexpendable. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. We're also going to start one-to-ones over the phone after the book tour. Steel Cage Fitness says, do you have one-to-one counseling sessions over the phone? Yeah, we do. But I cut those. I didn't do those last year at all because, of course, I wrote 2 books, big ones too. I had to rewrite this, but I had the first version, but this is twice as big. If you remember the first one, it was kind of thin. If I could find it, this one it's twice as long, and it's like it's a lot better. The first one was but now I wrote Future of Wealth, which is also it's bigger than this. It's 80,000 words. This is 50,000. It was 80,000 words in the Future of Wealth, but it's a huge book. So it took a lot of my time this year to do that. But now that that's over and the book tour will be over in February, we're going to start the one-to-one calls again. So I don't have an area to choose Los Angeles tickets. I'm pretty sure I did. Let me see. Hold on for a second. Maybe it's not up there. Oh, no, it's not there. I wonder what happened. Let me see. That's weird. I'll put it up tonight. Just DM me the word LA and I'll fix it and send you the link for it. It's not on there. I don't know why, but I can send you the link afterwards. Just DM me the word LA or Los Angeles. Somebody just asked about TMC. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. We're talking about deeply in the CNC tomorrow and tomorrow where it's going. But I think TMC has a long way to go, and it's a geopolitical type thing. And what I mean by it is that TMC uh, has to deal with what's happening on the world stage, right? And that means that we're attacking Venezuela. That's for minerals and oil, which regardless. Then we go after Greenland. That's for more rare earth minerals and other regular minerals. Then we're fighting. This is a constraint of the materials and minerals. And now TMC is a company that's working on retrieving those from the ocean floor, in which they say, and especially silver and gold, precious metals, they said this is the theory. They said that there's gold and silver just sitting on the bottom ocean floor in big chunks, magnesium and stuff like that, and you could just grab it. So, so if we can perfect that technology with TMC, and plus TMC doesn't have the regulatory clearance 100% yet, but that's coming. That's what was holding TMC back. It's a regulatory hurdle. And I love those types of plays because it happened with XRP and it also happened with TMC. What a regulatory hurdle play is, that means that it's a company that could do extraordinarily well, but there's regulatory issues holding it back. Now, whenever you look at this is another thing we talk about in the CNC and also in the books, is you have a company that could do extraordinarily well under the environment. You have a regulatory hurdle that they can't do it because the government says they can't. And then on the other side, you got a mega trend forming that makes it almost impossible for the government to keep saying no. So they eventually, like happened with crypto too, they let it go. Then it explodes into the mega trend. That's when you get those 10-time plays. It's based on because the only thing holding it back is the regulatory, like a wall or a door, not allowing it to go outside. Once it's allowed to go outside, it expands out. And that's what's happening with TMC now. They can't do what they're going to do, or even because they won't let them get on the ocean floor because of regulatory problems. So once that's released, which it will be because it has to be fast-tracked, TMC will explode. But last thing I want to say, it's one more thing I want to talk about. Let's see. Yeah, one more thing. But before we do that, make sure the CMC, the people who need more motivation, that you need a system. CNC Academy is that system that you need. Daily market clarity, step-by-step plays for entrepreneurs, investors, people who want to move faster and win in volatility. Get a 30-day guarantee. You don't like it, reach out to one of our moderators or the managers, and they'll give you the money back. Nobody else does that. Nobody else does that. There are no refunds when you get in there because I'll tell you, look, man, if you want your money back, I'll give it back. If you come in at 30 days, it's not for me, we'll give you the money back. That's almost no risk. And also, we're doing a free book. DM me the word CNC or click the link in the bio, and I will send you the link. The words CNC, you have to DM me private, not here. You have to give it to me as a private message. But we're also doing a free book tour, the last free event I'm going to do for a long time. New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Dallas, Chicago, Houston. If you're in one of those cities, DM me your city name, and I'll send you the link. Free seats are limited. Links also in the bio. And again, DM me the city, and I'll send you the link. Let TMC, now to the hidden bottleneck, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about, is that one of the other things that could do well, and we talked about this last week, is that energy has been loud. We've been talking about that as an AI choke point, right? But the market is flashing a new one that is going to hit you guys. Your wallet's probably a lot faster. Memory. Micron jumped 10% since we talked about it last week. We're in what's called an AI memory super cycle. So Super Micron, Micron, all these companies are starting to do well because of what's called HBM, is high bandwidth memory. Now, the memory companies like Micron, like SanDisk, they got a choice. They can choose to make what's called high bandwidth memory, which AI uses. It sits right on the chip next to right next to the chip. Or they can do regular RAM, which goes in phones and computers. But the problem is that HBM per gigabyte, they can make $40, $50 a gigabyte, or they can make $4 to $5 a gigabyte for a regular RAM. So what do they choose? Of course, they're going to choose. They're going to choose the the HBM. So now there's a memory shortage of regular memory that we use in phones and computers. But the companies are making a lot more because they're focusing on HBM, and that demand is going way up, because AI is only as fast as the memory could be a bottleneck. So regardless of how fast the chip is, if the memory is not fast, it's a slow system, because that's the bottleneck. So it's causing these memory companies to go up, and it probably won't end anytime soon. Now, it's not going to be a 10, 20 times play. You're not going to get that with Micron and SanDisk and all the others. But it is a good, solid play that will significantly, more than likely, beat the market. Do your own research. And it's not advice, but I think that they could do good. Yeah, we live in a weird time, but the weirdness is what makes us a lot of money. AMD, AMD's a good stock, but I'm not gonna call it out today. But I will save this live and post it. They give you guys a few minutes to ask any questions. I'll let you guys go for the night. Make sure you grab the book. So this is a lot of you guys say, I've made you money, or I've changed your mindset. Do me a favor and buy the book, because my biggest dream is to get this book on the New York Times bestseller list. But I need you guys to go to Amazon, go to Barnes and Noble, and just put $30 down and pre-order the book. That's all you got to do, right? $30 is nothing, right? You haven't joined the CNC because maybe you don't want to, maybe you're doing something else. But if you've been watching me for years, you've been making money learning, that's one of the things you can do to repay it. Buy the book. Even if you're not going to read it, buy the book. Give it away. Buy 2 books. Give one. It actually helps me if you buy a book on 2 places. So go to Google, buy one, and go to Barnes. If you already bought one, go to Barnes and Noble and buy one. That helps also. And give it away as a gift. Or bring 2 books to one of the book signs. I'll sign both of them. A lot of you will have the book by the book signing. So, or you buy one for the book signing and you read the other one. But I'm telling you, if you read the first one, it's not but the first one was life changing, but this one is a lot better. And I'm proud of anything I put out, but I'm very proud of this book. Let me see. I'll read something. Somebody's asking, can I read something? I want to read something. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Okay. I open right up to the one. I'm gonna read you something. This is the way we talk about things in this book. And I'm gonna say this. I'm proud of this ability I have. I'm an expert at taking things that are complicated and explaining it so everybody can understand it. I'm an expert at that. I was a college teacher, for some of you guys don't know, for almost 3.5 years. Now, what I'm doing is I'm explaining how markets react. When a new technology comes out, how the market reacts, how group psychology reacts, and what the best points of opportunity are. And I explain it in a simple story. I'm going to read it to you. One of my favorite things to do at family gatherings back in Tennessee after Thanksgiving or Christmas was to organize a big, ruthless game of Monopoly. The house would smell like smoked turkey, baked macaroni and cheese. The men, full from dinner, would migrate toward the living room. Uncle Bubba would ease himself into a big leather chair like a CEO ready to watch football with the others. But I never liked football much. So while the game played on the TV in the background, I'd set up a Monopoly board. Little Willie, older and heavier, would lean back in his chair with that signature grin, cracking jokes before the dice ever hit the table. Cousins Tish, Jasmine, and Javon off in the corner whispering, and my brother, Mario, and cousin Tiffany were in the kitchen making pregame deals. A lot of you guys are going to understand. You've done, this is everybody's family, really. So meanwhile, Aunt Jeannie to the youngest of us, would float around the room with her usual glow, laughing, teasing, and pretending like she might join the game. We'd beg her to sit down, but she never actually did. She loved to hover just close enough to watch us play, but with the flexibility to mingle, drift from room to room, and join other conversations happening around the house. And there was cousin Petra, tall, proud, and already boasting before the dice even rolled. Y'all better get ready, she'd shout, half laughing. She made the room louder and the game better. Now, Monopoly gives you the chance to be a ruthless tycoon, even if you're 10 years old. Kids turned on their parents. Cousins betrayed cousins. Made up rules nobody could verify. Lopsided property deals, trades, rent payments that ended friendships for 20 minutes. It was chaotic, hilarious, and unforgettable. I think back on those cold Tennessee evenings with deep fondness. Now, if you ever play Monopoly, you already understand the Perez model, whether you knew it or not. At the start of the game, everybody's excited, rolling the dice, taking risk, buying random properties. It's chaotic, it's exciting, and it's full of hope and potential. Then the mania or frenzy begins. Someone lands on Boardwalk or Park Place, and suddenly everybody's making side deals, trying to outmaneuver each other. It feels like anybody can win if you just make the right moves. It's fun, exciting, but that's not sustainable. But then reality hits, and someone can't pay rent and has to exit. This phase of the game is called the turning point. The excitement starts to die down, and the assets begin to consolidate. From there, the synergy phase begins. The few remaining players grow stronger. They built systems, hotels, monopolies, cash reserves that makes them harder to beat. As the others exit, dominance grows, the game slows down, and then the winners become inevitable. Now, the key insight most people miss is that, like Monopoly, as that model matures, the opportunity for significant gains begin to close. That's why it's critical to understand exactly where the investment sits on the adoption curve. First, at the beginning, when everything is uncertain, the assets are priced reasonably. Bold, early moves compound into extraordinary returns. Second, right at the turning point. These are the two opportunity points. The second opportunity is right at the turning point, the disillusion or exit phase, when players who took on too much risk over-leverage themselves and are forced to sell. That's when you can pick up valuable assets at a discount if you've been patient, disciplined, and prepared. Told you how to do it in Monopoly. So everybody knows how to play Monopoly, so that's exactly how life is. At the beginning, big risk, pay off a lot. At the second opportunity point is when people start losing because they can't pay rents, whatever, you buy their property cheap. And after that, there is no more opportunities. But grab the book. It's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. New scale's not done. Why is somebody saying that? But that story was not in the first book. And there's another analogies like that all through the book so you can understand it. I am going to put it on Audible, but they won't let me into the hardcover sales. So the edge signals for SpaceX and OpenAI. Edge signals for SpaceX is the news we're hearing about space rocket launches and space data centers and stuff like that. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great night. Make sure you DM me your city name. Make sure you DM me the word CNC, and I'll send you the link. DM me your city name. I'll send you the link. I'm going to add New York and LA back in a few minutes, and I will send it to you guys. Just DM me the word, and I appreciate you.